Hi guys! So this is our fourth session. This will be a makeup session because we weren't able to do this last week. And we are going to draw this very juicy apple using this reference photo. So we are going to create depth and form with light and shadow. So before we start, I'll show you what we need. We need two Q-tips or cotton buds. We use this for blending, so we need two because we don't want to mix the light and the dark colors because it will make our painting dirty. And of course, our pastels. So we will need the colors red, of course, for the apple, and we will need yellow, orange for to just create depth. We need brown also and a darker shade of brown. Then maybe later on we can add more colors. Now remember, it's very important to break your pastels into small pieces so that we can do side strokes more easily. Okay, for the first step, we need to draw the outside shape of the apple and later on the edge of the cast shadow on the table. Now, don't be scared here because we didn't use pencil. We can't erase this. It's okay if your lines are not going the way you want it to. And you can just keep on finalizing the sides, the lines of the apple until you're satisfied with the shape. Now I'm using a different color of pastel to draw the lines, just to give me a guide later on what color to use to shade in that area. And now I'm drawing the top part of the apple where the stem is. So just don't be scared, just make lines, the quick lines. Then let's draw the division of light and shadow on the apple. As you can see here in the picture, you see that dark area? We just need to put a mark on the surface of the apple so that we'll know where to shade the dark areas. Next, we will be filling in the shadow shapes with side strokes. So I'm gonna use a dark brown to make my first shade. I'm gonna start here at the top of the apple and maybe on the side of the stem to show that there are shadows there. So we use this side strokes of soft pastel using light pressure. So when you drag the side of the pastel, just use a light pressure and keep the shapes simple at this point. This is not yet the final shape, so don't be scared to make mistakes. This is where you'll see your apple take shape as you keep on making those strokes. So just keep adding those dark areas, and now I'm shading the shadow part where the cast shadow is of the apple. And you can keep playing with other shades of brown here. So I use dark brown, I use a lighter shade of brown and more black, so all the dark colors. And then next we will use crisp colors to fill in the light side of the apple, which is here on the left side. Remember our reference photo, the light part of the apple is on the left. So I want to start with the red. Okay, again, use the side of the pastel to make side strokes. Just very simple, it's just one stroke. Now you can just add more reds onto the shadow area and orange to make it look more vibrant. It's going to add that vibrant color on the apple. Okay, again, side strokes. Now don't be scared to add bright colors to your apple, and just figure out later on what parts of the apple you want to add more highlights or add more shadows. So I'm just leaving this part light, and I'm just going to add more highlights, more yellow shades to make the apple pop out. It's going to create that vibrant look to the apple. So don't be scared. Just keep adding if you need to. So just keep playing with the reds, orange, and yellow for the bright side of the apple. Just keep exploring. See how the bright colors give a more crisp look to the apple, and just keep adjusting until you like what you see. Next, we are going to blend. We're going to blend the transition colors and create a gradation of light and shadow. So I'm starting with the red first because I don't want to make my cotton buds get dirty with the dark colors. So I'm starting to blend the light colors. Then I'm going to use the other end of the cotton buds to blend the light and the dark. So there will be transitions here, a soft transition, smooth transition. So just keep blending those, but you don't have to blend everything yet. Okay, just those sides. You just play with the shading and blending. Now at this point, I just added a brown color to the cast shadow of the apple. And I just keep on adjusting the shape of the apple with the light color pastel. And next one, we need to restate the darks with soft pastel. So we just need to emphasize the dark areas here. So this time we need to be more careful here, because this is where we start to finalize the shadows, the lights, the shape. At this point of our painting, the apple is starting to take shape already. So this needs more careful strokes. Okay? Now, after we add the dark areas of the apple, we need next to apply heavier and more colorful strokes to the light side of the apple. Okay, so I'm taking advantage of my yellows and more orange maybe. And here I'm just gonna add the green color to the stem of my apple. So I broke my pastel because I need the sharp edge of the pastel. More yellows, more orange, and I just need to blend this here just to see how it looks how my blending looks with my red, orange, and yellow. At this part, you can be generous with your bold colors with the red, orange, and yellow. Don't be scared to overlap it onto the dark areas. So I'm adding more brown here, the light brown. No, I will just keep adding layers of colors until I'm satisfied with the final color of my apple. And I think my apple needs a more brighter color. So I'm just gonna add this peach colored pastel to add more highlight here to make it pop out from the paper. Okay, just gonna add highlights here and there. Now the next step would be painting the background. So I'm going to use blue and gray to create a background color. The background is very important because this allows you to adjust the shape of the apple by blending and overlapping edges. Okay, so we are doing that by doing broad side strokes. So as you do this, you can keep applying the highlights in the lighter side of the apple. So look how I am trying to finalize the shape of the apple by, creating a background. So basically, I am just tracing the outside form of the apple. And I can overlap the background to the foreground or to the apple. And I'm just gonna blend it with my light blue pastel to give it a more vibrant look. Because I don't want to make my background look very flat. So just to give it a more interesting, so that I think it's going to make it look more cooler to the eyes. As you can see, I just keep on adding layers of grays and blues to make it more thicker. And now once I'm happy with the color, I can now blend the background with the tissue paper, because we can't use cotton buds because it's going to take you a long time to blend it. So I'm using a tissue paper because it has a more it can occupy a wider space when you spread or you blend the pastel. Now the final step, which is we are going to blend and refine the surface of the apple. So when you do this, this is the time where you want to finalize the surface of your apple. So you can add more colors. Depends on how you perceive it, how you perceive the apple. So my painting may look different from yours. And that's okay because we all have a different perception or interpretation of the apple based from the photo here. So just keep doing this until you're satisfied. And remember, when you apply the pastel, you are following the shape of the apple. So we are doing a more curving shape. Depends where we apply the colors. So I just keep on adding highlights and blending, and it really depends. You're the artist, and you can see if your apple looks good to you. So I think mine, I like mine with more highlights to show that it's a very shiny apple. And I'm gonna add more black to emphasize the shape, or just to add sharpness to the image or to the subject. So it's just really up to you when to stop. But sometimes nobody really knows but you. So just try to step back for a while and see how it looks from afar. Because when you keep on adding strokes, sometimes it's going to overpower your painting. So at this point, I'm just blending all the colors together to give it a very smooth look, because this is going to make it look more realistic. I'm just blending the shadows. At this point, I just like to add more highlights. So the highlight colors are yellow and white, and sometimes pink. You can use pink if you like. Now for the final touches, we are doing the stippling and linear strokes to convey the texture of the skin of the apple and refine the edges to finish. So these are your final touches. And we're finished! I'm happy with this apple. How does your apple look like? Your apple art?